For the longest time, there is a subset, a group, an auxiliary, whatever you want to call it, that is underserved. And I think it has a lot to do, and this is a note that that politicians should listen to. And that is, there are people that if they were respected for what they could do naturally or innately, and if people trusted their talents, they would participate. But the way the jobs are set up in this country, and probably in so many places around the world, is it's based on a skill set that doesn't necessarily match how we were born. So we have a group now with unique thinking and creative skills. And since we can't find an exact match for what we do, we're going to go ahead and create a group or an organization that produces products and services and ideas to match what we do best. So the idea that anybody is lazy or that they are not working hard enough on their job, I think is incorrect. I think if you examine this problem at a much deeper level, you would realize that it's a matter of the job or the system doesn't match the person. And a lot of this stems from research from Howard Gardner, the multiple intelligence theory, and that's just the beginning of it. The idea that there are 8 known intelligences. There's probably a lot more, but 8 quantifiable types of intelligence. And if you look at a standardized test, only 2 of those are actually tested for, not the full 8. So some of us on that kind of creative fringe suffer a little bit because we don't necessarily do well in our classes. We don't necessarily take tests well. We don't do very linear work well. For example, you're taking a standardized test, you're given 4 or sometimes 5 choices, whatever the case, or a little box to write a short answer in. And your mind is abstracting all kinds of ideas and solutions. But what the test asks you for are for your answers to match the answers that were already predefined by people that may not think like you do. This is really troubling, and the fact that this is still going on in 2015 is absolutely amazing to me. Or 2016. It's absolutely amazing, this. And so the other problem that the creative person runs into also is that our language, the language of a person that thinks abstractly or uniquely, unless you're talking about a Steve Jobs where he could match what he wanted to do in a business sort of vocabulary, unless you're that type of a person, you're going to struggle. I remember my dad's memos used to sound more like poetry, and we thought they were beautiful pieces of writing, but they didn't always get him the results that he wanted, the funding that he needed for a lot of his programs. That's the place that we are now. We're trying to fix it. I think more people are going to join in. We're going to get a whole bunch of us together working on solutions, and we're going to do it in unique ways. For example, one possible way is that people are stuck in their offices all day. And this whole idea that you check in from 9 to 5 each day at an office, and you are expected to work a certain number of hours and then take a break when everyone takes a break. It's just not natural. You may get your best ideas at 1 in the morning or at 5 in the morning. But everyone, again, is conforming. Now, in this kind of 24-hour environment we're living in now, where technology makes everything accessible at all hours of the day and night, in communication with anyone you want to speak to. Again, the idea that we're inside this very linear right-angle office place doesn't make a whole lot of sense. And so one thing that at least I'm working on, and others are joining in on, is we call it hike storming. We do brainstorming on important or difficult or creative subjects while we're in motion. The body is kind of like this engine, and if it's in motion, it will produce more efficiently. We know this. We're getting better ideas in writing and fluid thinking while we're in motion, but yet you're asked to sit down every day in an office and somehow generate this while you're sitting in a stool or a chair behind a desk. Doesn't make a lot of sense. That's just one of several projects we're doing. We're also thinking about holocratic systems, hierarchical designs, where responsibilities are designated laterally so that you're not being confined, you're not being given a certain set of things to work on each day in a very linear way, but instead you are working in a way that matches your thinking. And everyone is kind of equally involved in the process of moving a company or organization forward.